What if the secret to living past 100 isn't just about avoiding a heart attack, but about cultivating a microscopic army already living inside you? Today we're revealing the 4 specific biological guardians found in Super-Agers that can stop disease in its tracks, and exactly how you can recruit them. You might be thinking, my genetics are different, or I'm too old to change my biology. I get it. We are often told that aging is a downward slide that we just have to manage. But what if the fatigue, the brain fog, and the metabolic slowdown you're feeling aren't inevitable symptoms of aging, but rather signs of a starvation event happening in your gut? We are about to walk through 5 specific, science-backed insights, ranking from foundational changes to a mind-blowing revelation about 4 specific bacteria that separate Super-Agers from everyone else. We will explore how your blood vessels, your immune system, and a hidden particle called P9 hold the keys to your longevity. You need to stay with me until the very end, because our final point, revelation number 1, uncovers a biological mechanism so powerful it was once thought impossible. A way to potentially reverse the biological clock using a specific shrapnel from a bacteria. You do not want to miss that. If you're ready to reclaim your vitality, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join our community of healthy seniors. Just a quick, important reminder. Before we dive in, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise, or health regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are on medication. Let's use this knowledge to have informed discussions with them. Now, let's unlock your potential. Starting with our foundational insight. Foundational insight number 5, the internal zoo protocol. Let's start with something we do every day, eating. But we need to completely rethink who is doing the eating. Have you ever considered that when you sit down for dinner, you aren't just eating for one? In our modern world, we have been conditioned to view food as simple fuel, calories in, energy out. We grew up in the golden age of industrial food innovation, the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. We were sold convenience, shelf stability, and hyper-palatability. Engineers designed foods to taste incredible and last forever. However, while this was great for our schedules, it was catastrophic for our biology. This unconscious habit of eating ultra-processed foods has wrecked our systems because we forgot who we are really feeding. To truly grasp this, let's use an analogy. Imagine your gut is like a house filled with 39 trillion pets. You have dogs, cats, goldfish, parakeets, a massive diverse menagerie. Now, would you feed your goldfish dog food? Would you feed your cat birdseed? Of course not. Each pet requires specific, high-quality nutrition to thrive. Therefore, when we eat a limited diet of processed foods, it's like we are starving half the animals in our internal zoo. Our bodies are designed by evolution to be We have the mixed martial arts of digestion. We can handle a massive repertoire of plant-based foods. When we restrict that diversity, or drown it in chemicals, the pets that keep us young and healthy begin to die off. We lose the diversity that is essential for life. The insight here is simple but profound. Diversity is key. You are eating for 39 trillion microbes. These bacteria are not just passengers. They are your crew. When you treat them like cherished pets, feeding them high-quality, diverse plant-based fibers, they pay you back with affection. In biological terms, that affection is better immunity, clearer thinking, and more energy. Now, when it comes to diversifying your diet, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness. If you aren't used to eating a lot of fiber or fermented foods, please remember to start gently and listen to your body. A sudden shift can cause bloating or discomfort. Aim for consistent, gentle progress, adding one new plant food at a time. So, treating your gut like a cherished ecosystem is the foundation. But, once you have the foundation, you need to protect the supply lines. That brings us to our next strategy. Vital strategy number 4. Defending the 60,000-mile highway. If you want to live a long, vibrant life, you need to make sure the supplies can get to where they are needed. This is where most people get longevity wrong. They focus on the heart, but they forget the highway. Cardiovascular disease is a thief. It steals years from our lives and life from our years. We often think of it only in terms of dramatic events, like heart attacks or strokes. However, the real damage often happens silently, long before the ambulance is called. It's a compromise of circulation that slowly starves your organs of the nutrients they need to function. Let's look at the scale of this. You have 60,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. That is enough to wrap around the earth twice. Imagine this vast network as the plumbing system of a massive city. If the pipes are clear, water flows to every house, every skyscraper, every garden. The city thrives. But if you get blockages, like a traffic jam at rush hour that turns a highway into a parking lot, the flow stops. In your body, when blood flow stops, downstream tissues die. This weakens the heart muscle, the pump, causes rhythm problems, the beat, and leads to heart failure. You can't have optimal health if your delivery channels are broken. The Super-Ager strategy here is to focus on vascular health, not just heart health. This means eating foods and adopting a lifestyle that keeps the lining of those 60,000 miles smooth and flexible. It means keeping your blood vessels healthy so they can deliver the oxygen and nutrients your internal zoo needs. When your vascular system is healthy, you are essentially keeping the highways of your body open for business, ensuring that every cell gets the premium fuel we talked about in Insight number 5. Of course, moving your body is one of the best ways to keep these vessels clear. But if you haven't exercised in a while, please consult your doctor. You don't need to run a marathon. Simple, rhythmic movements like walking or swimming are incredible for vascular health. Now that we have the supply lines open, we have to deal with the enemy at the gates. This next secret is critical because it addresses what actually ends most lives in our demographic. Critical secret number 3. The Castle Gate Immunity Shield. When we talk about aging, we often fear the sudden events, but statistics tell a different story about what we should really be fortifying ourselves against. Most people who reach an elderly age don't die of heart attacks. They die of infection. Pneumonia, urinary tract infections, and other systemic infections are the silent assassins that take out the elderly. Furthermore, we have the looming specter of cancer, a disease that 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will face. Consequently, our focus shifts from just circulation to defense. Think of your body as a medieval castle. You can have a great kitchen, your gut, and great hallways, your blood vessels. But if the front gate is wide open, invaders will burn it down. Inflammation is like pouring gasoline on a small fire inside that castle. It turns a manageable issue into a disaster. Cancer, specifically, is like a sleeper cell inside the castle walls. It thrives on inflammation and poor immune surveillance. But here is the empowering truth. We are hardwired for health. We have 5 health defense systems, including our immunity. We know now that certain gut bacteria mount an incredible defense against infection. They are the guards at the gate. If we can lower inflammation, the gasoline, and boost our immune system, the guards, we can dodge many of these bullets. This secret is about using your diet to lower inflammation and starve cancer stem cells. It's about realizing that health isn't just the absence of disease. It is the active presence of a defense system. By consuming foods that boost our natural immunity, like those containing antioxidants, we are essentially repairing the locks on our doors and sharpening the swords of our guards. We are turning our bodies into a fortress that is hostile to cancer and infection. So, we have a fortress. We have supply lines, and we have a diverse population. But who is running the show? This brings us to a discovery that has completely changed neurology. Neuroprotective key number 2. The satellite office in your brain. For decades, medical schools taught one absolute truth. The brain is a sterile environment, a fortress of solitude. We now know that was completely wrong, and this error has cost us dearly in understanding brain diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. We are facing a tidal wave of neurodegenerative diseases. We see it in our friends, our family, perhaps even in ourselves. For years we thought the brain was a black box, isolated from the biological chaos of the rest of the body. Therefore, treatments were often limited and ineffective. Prepare for a paradigm shift. It turns out the brain has its own microbiome. It's not as diverse as the gut, but about 20% of the bacteria types found in your gut are also found in your brain. Here is the analogy. Imagine you thought your brain was a lonely island with no communication to the mainland. But we just discovered a fiber optic cable connecting your gut to your brain, the gut-brain axis. And not only that, but there is actually a satellite office of bacteria living inside the brain. This opens up a new frontier. Could we treat neurodegeneration with probiotics? The answer appears to be yes. A specific bacteria strain, Lactobacillus plantarum PS128, has been shown to level off symptoms and stop the progression of Parkinson's disease in studies. It's a psychobiotic, a bacteria that influences the mind. This is the brain-bug connection. By taking care of your gut, you are sending reinforcements to the satellite office in your brain. You aren't just eating for digestion, you are eating for cognition. This key number 2 proves that the fog isn't inevitable. It's a signal that the satellite office is understaffed. While the research on PS128 is incredibly promising, it is still a developing field. Before starting any specific probiotic regimen for neurological conditions, it is vital to discuss it with your neurologist or primary care physician to ensure it fits with your overall care plan. Now, we have arrived. We've covered the foundation, the highway, the defense, and the command center. But there is one final piece of the puzzle, the distinct biological signature of the Super-Agers. The ultimate longevity revelation number 1. The Super-Ager Quartet and the P9 particle. This is the secret we promised to reveal when researchers looked at the microbiomes of people aged 20 to 100, and then specifically at the Super-Agers 100 to 114 years old. They found something extraordinary. We tend to think that as we get extremely old, our systems just break down completely. However, in these Super-Agers, computational biology revealed that 4 specific bacteria didn't just survive, they thrived. They stood out like beacons. These people weren't just lucky. They were hosting a specific elite team of microbes. Who are these members of the elite team? Let's focus on the captain, Akkermansia. This bacteria is a miracle worker. It regulates blood glucose, lowers inflammation, and boosts immunity. But here is the truly mind-blowing discovery, the P9 particle. Imagine Akkermansia is a beetle with a hard shell. It's like a magical key. Even a broken piece of the key still opens the lock. This is the game-changing revelation number 1. The secret to the Super-Agers isn't just good genes. It's an active partnership with these 4 bacteria. These organisms lower the bad cholesterol, improve the good H, and mount the defenses against the infections that kill the elderly. The best news, you don't need a lab coat to get them. You can stimulate these bacteria to grow by eating the right foods, foods rich in polyphenols and fibers. You can cultivate this elite team in your own internal garden, starting with your very next meal, increasing foods that feed Akkermansia like pomegranates, cranberries, and green tea is generally safe and healthy. However, because these foods can affect metabolism and blood sugar, if you are on diabetes medication, please monitor your levels closely and keep your doctor in the loop. And there you have it. Our game-changing revelation number 1. It might seem incredible that a microscopic piece of shrapnel from a gut bacteria could be the key to metabolic health and longevity. But that is the power of the science we are uncovering. So, we've covered a lot of ground today. We started with foundational insight number 5, learning to feed our internal zoo of 39 trillion pets. We traveled the 60,000 miles of our vital strategy number 4 to protect our blood vessels. We fortified our castle with critical secret number 3, against infection. We unlocked the neuroprotective key number 2, connecting our gut to our brain. And finally, we met the elite team of the Super-Agers in revelation number 1. Each one of these is a stepping stone to a more vibrant, healthier you. You don't have to do all of them at once. You can start with a single meal, a single realization that you are not finished yet. Which of these insights, perhaps it was our foundational strategy regarding the internal zoo, or maybe the mind-blowing brain-bug connection, or even our ultimate revelation about P9, resonated with you the most? Which one are you thinking of trying first? I'd love to hear your thoughts. please share them in the comments below. If you found this journey through these health discoveries valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find our community. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies tailored for our fantastic group of healthy seniors. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.